are in the midst of training. Obviously, this has been a long road for you of this constant training and improvement, but just tell us how the training's going so far, man. I mean, going through COVID last year, all of the challenges that we were all faced with, but you more particularly because of the specific things that you were chasing. What's it been like for you, man?
Man, it's been a journey, man. But I've stayed committed in the process. I've had to pivot a lot, but my routine is my routine. I was back home in my hometown, and just how I was kind of training and living pre-COVID, just going to training very focused, working on some different things. It was kind of the same thing for me. The isolation so much didn't bother me, but it's had its challenges, but it's given me a lot of time to continue to work on the things I need to work on, sharpen the tools, get back in the lab, and really step back and put together the team that I know I need around me to take myself to the next level. So, like anything, man, it has its challenges and its adversities, but it's how you overcome it. And I think now I'm starting to see the fruits of that labor. I'm in a great place mentally and before I head to my new training camp. And I'm just really super stoked about what I'm going to get ready to do on the track, man. Once I get out there, once I put, all this new training together, and it's going to be fun.
When is the official date? When do you officially get out and you're able to compete?
Well, outdoor season starts around April, May.
Yeah.
There's really no timeline for me. It's just mainly about getting into training, getting some consecutive weeks in and being healthy. And, the trainer will let me know when it's time to compete. With my coach, like I said, we got some huge years ahead, and it's muscle memory, man. I was actually talking to him this morning, 4 a.m. I sent him a video, and we're just like so in tune and so excited. And I think that's the cool thing about it. When you have two people super excited about the mission, that's when it just makes it that much special. So, yeah.
It's interesting. You're in an individual sport. I know that you've done relays and you've had some great success with that. Going back to your Texas A&M days, the accomplishment that you had there at the NCAA Indoor Championship, right there, where you won it on the 200 meter and then also on the 4x400. Is that correct?
Good job. Yeah, that's correct. That's
excellent.
Correct.
So, pretty awesome stuff. And of course, you had stuff prior to that as well too. I know when you went to Southwestern College in San Diego, you obviously had some great success there. One thing, and people always love to hear this about athletes, people that have been able to be on the other side of the white line. One of the great accomplishments that you did is back in 2013 at the IAAF, or is it IAAF? How do you say that?
Either one is fine.
Either one. All right. So championships. Yeah. Championships. You ran with and kind of against Usain Bolt and Warren Weir, and you took bronze, dude, which is unbelievable. What a fantastic accomplishment there. But I know that you weren't satisfied though. That's what kind of continues to keep driving you. What's the next chapter for you? Because when you first told me your age, dude, and I know, with Olympics, I know like you're not getting in for every 4 years. And I know that you're able to go to these other championship matches. What does that next chapter for you look like? I know you're driven, no doubt about it, but give us a glimpse for you or for us, what your mindset is on that next thing.
So the next thing after track and field. So like I said, I'm really big into, I'm a business owner, real estate guy. I just plan on just growing my career in the business space. Just taking everything that I've learned, all the, the traits and characteristics, the habits, just the mindset, just take that into, my business career and just continue to flourish and grow my brand and just do some really, cool things. I see myself really impacting, being, just being able to inspire so many lives through my story. Everything that I've went through, I think, that's the beautiful part about it. The storytelling part, looking back and being like, okay, I can help a lot of people. So just looking forward to that. But as far as the track and field, my career, I'm super excited, man. That's the thing. You see all these guys like a LeBron James or Tom Brady, these older athletes that's figuring it out, that take care of their body, that's disciplined, so I look at it like that. I feel like I'm getting better as I age. So, I'm just going to just ride this thing out, until I can't. Just really being grateful and appreciative of the position that I'm in, because I know once that day comes when it's time to walk away, it's going to be gone forever. And, just looking at guys that's done it before me, and, just telling myself, this is why I've been disciplined. This is why I've sacrificed so much, even up until this point. Like, nothing has changed for me. Like, I still approach this thing the same way I did when I was 18 years old. And I think now, the age thing isn't an issue for me. I've taken care of myself. I put myself in the right situation to stay up with the latest technologies and things of what have you, so I can go out and still compete and just being true to the sport. So I'm just looking forward to that. And again, to kind of, put a bow on this thing, I just think the more I just continue to put out that positive energy and just keep living in my dream and just experiencing this thing, I think all the right opportunities are just eventually going to fall into place for me.
One of the things you talked about, and elite athletes have it. I mean, elite people that are entrepreneurs and successful people, they have this willingness to do the extra, right? To go the extra mile, to grind it out, and to sacrifice whatever it's going to take to be successful in whatever that endeavor is. Give us a glimpse. You said that you're willing to do it all, and you've done it. You've continued to have success. What is it that you're sacrificing now? Like, what is it that if you're speaking to a high school athlete, because they don't have an idea, right? They have no clue what it takes to be successful at that level. What is it that you would share with them? You're like, this is what I mean when we sacrifice. This is what I mean when I sacrifice in order to accomplish these things.
I'm sacrificing the will to be average. I'm sacrificing, family time. I'm sacrificing being just normal, just settling, just absolutely settling and having everything that comes with settling. It's so much bigger than track and field. It's just so happened that track and field is the vehicle that I'm currently in right now, just putting all my energy and efforts into, because I know what this vehicle takes me, and just being a person that wants to be successful, that wants to live a healthy, empowering, inspiring life and just do great things, because you only get one shot at this thing, and coming from humble beginnings, I understand that I never want to go back there. You have to be grateful for this. And I think once you understand and you get, like, life is not a game, things are happening every single day. So if you have an opportunity to, live a better life, live it at a high quality, to do the things you love, that's the life you want to live. And that comes with discipline, with anything at a very high level. High discipline, putting in the work daily on yourself, self-development, saying no to a lot of things, practicing and staying training when other people quit, not giving up on your dreams. These things that we see oftentimes in different professions, the person being great is being good over a long period of time, and just constantly chipping away at this thing every single day. And it has to be a lifestyle for you. I don't wake up, I wake up inspired and motivated. I have that burning desire in my stomach. I love to, because I know, and you take it in sports, I know this guy's over here, they want to hang out, they want to party, they don't want to, be focused. These are the things that will slow you down and hinder you, and once you get a taste of that, it's just no looking back from that point.
I love that. You dropped some good wisdom there. And I want to revisit this real quick, because you're already, even though you're in pursuit of greatness within your sport, you're already looking at life after the sport. You realize that the sport is the mechanism to get you to where you want to be at in your life. The sport is not what defines you. And we all know, like, it's really easy to get caught up in that life. It's really easy to get caught up and think that the sport is who you are. The sport is your purpose. And you've done an exceptionally great job of recognize that very early on in your career. How were you able to do that? Did you have great mentors? Was this something that was always innate in you? What was that allowed you to understand that the sport did not define you? It was a tool for you to use.
Well, if I'm going to be, 100% honest, I had to go through it from an experience standpoint. When I turned pro, it was all about making a name for myself. I left school early from Texas A&M. I forego my senior year. So I came in this thing with a lot of pressure. So I couldn't focus on multiple things. I had to focus on proving that I belong here, earning my contract with Adidas. So that was the focus. And once I went through that, the ups and downs of time, having your absolute identity tied to a sport, tied to a performance, I seen what that did, but also it made me raise my game as an athlete. But, as I went through these adversities and trials and tribulations, time away from the track, I started to find and see my other interests. What was I interested in? That's where the self-development comes in at. That's where reading a lot of books, being inspired, podcasts. That's always been my thing, and that's one thing about me. And I think I was eventually going to find that. I've always been business minded, business, savvy. So I just think, as I continue to get older, and I was dealing with certain, injuries, or whether I was moving across the world, to South Africa, I had a chance to kind of do a lot of reflecting on what I want to do, what makes sense. And now I see, man, you need to have a balance. Even with my coach now, he said, man, it's just like a light, a house. When you come in the house, you want to turn the lights on, but when you walk out of the house, turn the lights off. Same thing with track and field. When we done winning, we got to shut off. Go enjoy life. Go enjoy, have these healthy relationships. And I think now I'm so inspired because I see, man, the more you make it about, more things and bring more people on this journey with you, do different things, then you have that balance and it makes the pursuit better. So, and like I said, hosting camps, I got a chance to host camps. So I seen that, hey, man, I listen to these kids. I can teach, train. I want to help, be an advocate and have my own, health and smoothie wellness business one day or something like that, So I just think the journey just helped me with that.
Yeah, as I say, did you find yourself? Are you enjoying the journey so much more than you did in the past right now? Then,
yeah, man, I'm definitely enjoying it. Like the only downside of it is I haven't competed. Like I'm so ready to run, but I'm absolutely having the time of my life because again, I'm older now, so I have a lot more wisdom. So it becomes like you like certain locks you had, those are no longer there. So it's like, wow, this is incredible. Like, obviously, I went, like I said, you have your ups and your downs, but I just love the process, bro. I love the grind. I love the daily grind. I just love waking up and just putting in work. I don't too much think about, anything else. I just love the process.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. When you can chase that though, when you know that you're in what you were gifted with doing and you're chasing that, like the work isn't really work. Yeah, it's hard and it's challenging and it's difficult, but it's so much fun when you're living in that right way. I'm curious to know, out of all of the things that you've experienced, and you kind of alluded to that you've had some hardships and some challenges in your life, what has been the biggest thing that you look back now and go, man, like that actually was happening for me, or that right there was a defining moment in my life. And if I would never have gone through that hardship, or if that thing wasn't going to be in my way, that roadblock, man, I never would have developed this, which turned into this. Do you have a moment like that in your past?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I have a few moments. So I just give you the one when I was in junior college. After I left high school, I had to go out there. I slept in the garage for 2 years and it was tough, but that's coming fresh out of high school. I'm young, I'm just trying to make a name for myself, earn a scholarship. And if I wouldn't have got through, that time, obviously going out there, I had to win and I had to still graduate and earn my associate's degree, out of state tuition. I didn't have a scholarship. My mom was working 2 jobs. That was an absolute defining moment for me, especially out of high school, and I got through it. I ended up making connections. One of the guys on the football team, his family let me actually stay with them. They had a garage that they turned into a room, and I was able to rent that garage out and be able to stay there for 2 years because I came out there originally with 2 other guys, and we was in a 2-bedroom with 4 people. The quarterback, the DN, the other guy, and then me. So it was a nightmare. We knew that lease was up. And I said, hey man, well, I can't go back home. It's nothing, back home for me. So I think that was when the pressure was on. And I knew right then and there, once I overcame that, I became the second man in history to win 100 and 200 meters. I was ranked number 1 in the world. And I absolutely was, I was in a garage. And that changed my life, man. And enabled me to get a scholarship to Texas A&M, and the rest is history. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I want to go on the other side of the paradigm, looking back at the things that you've been able to accomplish and the goals that you've been able to achieve. What's been that one moment where you were able to sit back and go, man, this has been worth it. Like this, that right there, everything I've went through, everything all the pain, all the agony, all the discomfort, all that that was worth it right there.
Yeah, man, that's another great question. So it had to be 2013 when I got that bronze medal behind Usain Bolt. That was so epic. Like literally, like I have a picture of me on the podium, Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
It was playing the Jamaican national anthem and my medal, crying because I'm like, man, I went through everything this year. Like, was it worth it? Like, I was literally replaying this in my mind, like telling myself, like, was everything that we went through worth it? The injuries, the adversities, the doubts, because that year I felt like I had to do the impossible, just to even get there, and still was counted out. That was a big defining moment for me, because that was huge. And I look back and I was like, that's why I feel like I am the person I am today, which is why I got this burning desire to get back there, to get back on the top. Now I want gold. Now I want to be the best in the world. I got a taste of that. And I felt like it was a moment there where I knew I had something special. I had that next level, because what I did, most athletes, you just don't do that in the 200 meters. And the way I got the medal and behind Usain Bolt, like that's the fastest man to ever live. So now as I gotten older, like that moment right there showed me, hey, we can do this thing at the very highest level. And this is awesome because look who I did it against. And it was a humbling but awesome moment for me, definitely.
Yeah. 20.04 seconds, by the way. So you left that out there, my man. So that's an impressive time. No doubt about it right there. So from there on, I mean, was that like, did it just kind of break that mold for you? Did you just kind of start to say, not only do I believe I can be here, I deserve to be here. Like this is my spot. This is what I should be doing. Was that a kind of a catalyst for you going into the future for you?
Yeah, and it was more so of like, let's just keep building. Let's just keep putting in the work and just keep progressing. It was like literally I was thinking about the next year, just being that athlete, just being in that moment. Like I'll always, because end of the day, it comes down to you're in a competition with yourself. So it's to beat your previous self anyway. So I feel like the younger me is still up right now because I have yet to surpass him. And that's truly what it's about. Once you're in the competition with yourself, it just changes things. And that's what that motivation and that internal, wow, I'm like, okay, well, I got this bronze behind Usain Bolt. I know these next coming years, I'm younger than him. So if I continue to put in this work, I want to put in more work now. I should be Olympic champion, world champion soon. And that's always been my thought process. And I feel like that's the unfinished business that I have left on the track. I feel like I have way more records to break and I have more medals to go get. And I'm trying to compete with the best arm in the world. And I have a great opportunity. I'm in such a great position. I'm a man now. I did that at 24 years old. I was a baby. Yeah. So, this is what I, alluded to back in the early part of the conversation when I said going through the things that I went through, it was worth it because that allowed me to grow as a man, mentally and physically. So that's just going to equal. I'm just excited to see what that's going to translate to on the track.
No, that's awesome. 32 years old, right?
Yep.
32 years old. So you've got a lot of great things that are working for you. There's a lot of things that you've done, and with that wisdom, you're able to apply it to not only your training but also your mentality. What's the biggest obstacle for you now? What's the biggest hurdle? What's the biggest challenge that you are faced at this age that you maybe weren't faced with when you were younger, or that you didn't even know that you should be faced with?
Yeah, I think the biggest is just understanding how to control self, how to be in control over my emotions daily, consistently, understanding that is key, because we're in a business of relationships. If I want to become this great businessman, this great entrepreneur, this great athlete, all these new opportunities, everything that I went through, we got to make it count. None of that means nothing if I get in a situation and I revert back to old habits and now I set myself back. You have to get it right. The great ones, they get it right and they keep it right. Who do you have around you? Being able to properly keep my mind sharp to scout people out, have the right people around me, understanding where my thoughts at, control my thoughts, make the right decisions, continue to flourish and go up, because I feel like everybody around me is depending on me and I'm depending on myself more than ever. So I think, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think, that whole, test of time, that's very true. And I'm feeling that now as I'm getting older, and I'm trying to, I'm making certain things happen on a bigger scale, because I'm more in control of my situation as an individual. It's just making my responsibility. And I wouldn't want it any other way, because that's how it's supposed to be. If you want to be in this position, then, the crown is heavy, but it's fit for a king. So, I'm up for it.
Amen to that, dude. I love that. Absolutely fits really well with our Kingsman, man. So that's fantastic, brother. So I'm curious. Let's go into the future here. 10 years from now, you and I are having a conversation again, and we're just reflecting on your career, reflecting on the path, the journey, and so forth. What stands out? What's the thing that you're like, I got this done, I accomplished this, and this is where I'm at in my life right now? What does that look like for you?
It's just going to be a paper trail of hard work, just hard work and consistency, man. And just understanding, what comes with that. I can't pinpoint what comes with that, just because you can't put a price tag on some of the things when you living in that. I think the more I stay in gratitude and that high mental state, doing the things that I need to do to stay in that clarity mode, I think, man, it's just going to be awesome. So 10 years from now, like, I look at myself now at 32 years old, and I look back and I'm saying, man, I think the 21-year-old me, the 22-year-old me, that guy was awesome, because during my 20s, I didn't damage my body. I didn't, I wasn't perfect, but look what I'm able to do at this age. And I credit that to the decision makings that I did my previous decade. So a decade from now, I just, I'm gonna be super comfortable, security, and it's just gonna be great, man. It's just gonna be on another level for sure.
Wow, love it, buddy. Well, we know that we have a ton of athletes constantly chasing this dream, right? We've got 8 million high school athletes throughout our country. And we know that only about 500,000 actually reach that NCAA stature. They get to that next level, which is such a minuscule amount. And then from there, the odds go even less, of course, right? About 1% of those NCAA athletes have the opportunity to go and compete at the next level, that professional level. What would you say to them with your journey, with everything that you've gone through, the hardships, the great things, the accomplishments? You're sitting in a room right now with the next athlete, with the next person that has a desire to go to the level that you've been able to achieve. What one or two pieces of advice would you give them right now that you would hope that they would be impacted by and they would leave with, that they would implement into their life?
Yeah, man, I would just say, just don't be scared to be different. Don't be a follower, be a leader, be a student of the craft, be true to yourself, be a good person, be humble, and again, the saying is true. When a student is ready, the master will appear. So, as long as you keep yourself in that state, if you want it, always revisit your why. If your why is that big, then you're going to make the right decisions. I think early on, I made some pretty critical decisions, key decisions, in my early adult years before things was really maturing, but I knew my why was so much greater. I wanted this thing so bad. And trust that if you truly trust the process, it's as cliche as it may sound, that's truly the name of the game, because all you got to do is just put yourself in a room with other people. Like, you're going to see the people that's going to fall off. A lot of people, they're not consistent. They can't be disciplined for a long period of time. And you have to make yourself that guy. You have to be that person that wants it more than anybody else. And I think those are the combinations. There's really no secret formula other than how bad you want it. And you will know how to make the right decisions, as you continue to pursue that.
Love it, buddy. That's awesome advice. Wish I'd have gotten that advice when I was a little bit younger there, man. That would have steered me out of a lot of dumb decisions that I made on my journey. So, that was awesome, man. You really brought it right there. So, well, dude, I appreciate you, man, being on. I know you are just absolutely busy as heck with your training and building yourself and your persona and that next opportunity that you have in your life. So for you to take a couple minutes out of your day was awesome and impactful, not only for myself, but also for our audience as well too. So any last parting words you'd like to share with them?
I just want to express gratitude to you for having me, man. This was awesome. I'm glad I did it. I just want to just grateful. Just thank you for having me. And yeah, it's been awesome, man.
Where can I know that you're a big Instagram guy. Where can they find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at Mr._200 Curtis Mitchell. You'll see me with the little verified blue check, whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty heavy on that. Yep.
Awesome. Love him, man. Well, everybody out there, I know that you guys, this was an awesome and an amazing podcast with my man, Curtis here. He, it's always fun to listen to guys that are and gals that are chasing that dream. And he's had an amazing opportunity to continue to do that. But the thing that I love about this conversation today is that he also understands that the dream doesn't define him. It is a catalyst. It's an opportunity for him to achieve even greater things in his life. And he's working on that, even though it is not distracting him from his goal right now. So I know this is something that can be impactful for you. And of course, somebody else. So the price of admission, as you all know, is to pass it along to somebody else that that would find tremendous value in what was offered today. We guys will talk to you soon. Take care.